Uncover the hidden recipes for your digital success. In Cheers Online Marketing, we mix the finest ingredients for your custom marketing cocktail. From SEO smoothies to social media sours, find everything you need to perfect your online marketing blend.
All right, so are you ready? Because today we're going deep into content marketing. Yeah, deep into content marketing, but for financial services.
Ooh, interesting.
The whole other ballgame, isn't it?
It is.
And, we've got a lot of sources here.
Okay.
A German marketing agency's blog post. And
interesting.
yeah, they have some really surprising tactics. Some fresh info on how Google's algorithms are looking at financial advice these days.
I'm intrigued.
So by the end of this, you'll know how to stand out, stay compliant, and actually get results.
Especially if you're not a big name yet.
Right, even if you're a smaller player.
Yeah.
It's all about Google and trust
Trust.
when it comes to finances.
Yeah.
They call it your money, your life content.
Yeah, okay.
YMYL.
IMYL, okay.
And they take it super seriously.
Well, yeah, it makes sense though, doesn't it?
Right.
Google doesn't want to be responsible for someone making a bad financial decision because of bad information.
Exactly.
So they're laser focused on those EAT guidelines. Yeah. Expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness.
Okay, so ET is crucial.
Yes.
But how do we prove that to Google?
Especially if you're a smaller company.
Or just starting out. This is where that German blog post gets really interesting.
Okay, tell me more.
So their big idea is to reverse engineer ET.
Reverse engineer.
By looking at who's already winning.
So are they talking about looking at the competition?
Yeah, looking at the competition.
Interesting.
Finding the authors of those top articles.
That Google loves.
That Google clearly loves.
Yeah.
And seeing if you can bring them on board.
Wow. That's a bold move.
It is a bold move.
And it could pay off.
But it could totally pay off. It's like saying, hey, Google, you already trust this person.
Yeah.
So trust me too.
I love that.
And they actually give specific tactics to find these writers.
Like what?
Like using LinkedIn's advanced search.
To find people who've written about finance before.
Yeah. Writers with proven experience in finance.
So no more just general writers.
No more sifting through endless resumes.
I like it.
Another thing they recommend is partnering with data companies.
Ooh, data.
To get unique insights.
That's smart.
Imagine having data that nobody else has.
Yeah.
Talk about standing out from the competition.
It makes you an authority.
You're the authority.
Yeah.
So these tactics are all about showing Google you have the expertise.
Expertise.
Okay, so we're building trust. We're showing our expertise.
Okay.
We can't forget about compliance.
Oh, yeah, the elephant in the room.
Right.
Especially in the financial world.
FINRA regulations, disclaimers, regional laws.
It can be so overwhelming.
How do we manage all of that without, just squashing our creativity?
It's all about the framework you have in place.
Okay, so a good framework.
Yeah, work with your legal team, get some guidelines up front,
Okay.
and focus on the areas where they're comfortable.
So it's more about working within those boundaries.
Right, rather than letting them dictate everything you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
German blog post actually says that compliance can fuel innovation. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Because limitations can force you to think differently.
Yeah, to be more creative.
Right.
Okay, so we've got trust, expertise, and compliance.
3 pillars.
But there's another piece to this puzzle in finance.
Which is?
Speed.
Speed?
Things move so fast in finance.
News breaks constantly.
Markets are always shifting.
Yeah, how do you keep up?
How do we deliver the right information to the right people at the right time?
You have to be agile.
Agile. Okay.
Think about a multi-pronged approach.
Okay.
First, prioritize real-time content.
Real time.
Interactive elements, live updates,
So it's like being a news outlet.
but with a financial focus.
Okay.
And secondly,
Oh,
leverage technology.
technology, of course.
Your content management system
Our CMS.
can deliver targeted content based on what the user is doing.
So if someone's reading about retirement,
Yeah.
we can show them more retirement stuff
Exactly. You're creating a personalized experience that way.
and guiding them.
Deeper into the funnel.
Yes. And speaking of valuable information,
Yeah.
we can't forget about content refresh.
Oh, content refresh. That's important.
Outdated financial information isn't just bad for SEO.
Yeah.
It can be bad for users.
Yeah.
And it can even get you in legal trouble.
You need a system
Okay, a
to
system.
keep your content accurate, and relevant.
So they recommend using website crawlers.
Things like Screaming Frog
Screaming Frog, okay.
to analyze all your URLs.
Like taking inventory?
Yeah, and see what needs updating.
And they say prioritize updates for high traffic pages.
Especially those that are starting to see a decline in performance.
Okay, so we're not just doing this once.
No.
Content refresh is ongoing.
Absolutely. Regulations change, new products emerge.
Markets fluctuate.
You've got to stay on top of it all.
Okay, so we've covered trust, expertise, compliance, speed.
We've covered a lot.
But let's talk about resources.
Resources.
Because
Yeah.
creating this content,
Yeah,
it takes expertise.
it does.
And expertise isn't cheap.
It's an investment.
It is an investment.
Yeah, be realistic about your budget.
The German blog had some advice on this.
What was it?
They said to be upfront about the cost,
Okay.
both internally and with any external partners.
Transparency.
Yeah, total transparency.
Or
No surprises down the line.
Whether you're working with freelancers, agencies, data providers,
Yeah.
everybody needs to be on the same page.
Now, speaking of finding the right people,
Yeah.
how do we find good financial writers?
Because it's a rare breed
It is a rare breed, someone who understands finance
and can write well.
and can make it interesting.
Yeah.
They suggested using Google's ET principles.
To find raters,
Remind me how that works.
find those top articles that demonstrate ET
Oh, yeah, right.
and track down the authors.
Google already thinks they're experts.
Exactly. So we should too.
Reach out to them, see if they're interested in freelance work.
That's a great idea. And once you find those great writers,
Yeah.
treat them well. Pay them fairly.
Give them the freedom to do their best work because it's the quality of your content that matters.
It is. You can have the best strategy.
But if the content's bad...
It's not going to resonate.
Okay, so we've talked about building trust, showcasing expertise, navigating compliance,
Staying agile.
finding resources.
Phew.
But before we move on to part 2,
Okay.
I want to hear from you, our listener.
Yeah, what do you think?
What's one action you can take this week?
To improve your content marketing.
For financial services.
Yeah. Jot it down, make a plan.
Take that first step.
We're cheering you on.
And we'll be back in part 2 with more insights.
To help you succeed in the world of financial content marketing.
See you then.
It's great to think about, taking action.
Yeah, putting it all into practice.
So now let's get into the actual creation.
The creation process.
That German marketing agency.
Yeah,
They had some great advice for crafting content
that connects.
that really connects.
Okay.
One thing they emphasized
Okay.
was simplifying complex topics.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's so easy to get lost in the jargon.
Especially in finance.
Right. But people just want clear information.
They want to understand it.
They want to use it.
So we need to be translators almost. Taking these complex ideas.
Yeah,
and-
making them accessible.
Yeah.
And that's where content creators come in. You're
Okay.
translating.
We're
or-
translating into
Yes.
something and engaging.
Yeah.
And they had some practical tips for this.
Oh, well, like what?
They're big on using visuals.
Visuals, okay.
Real life examples.
So people can actually see it.
Storytelling even.
Storytelling.
To bring these dry financial topics to life.
Because stories stick with you.
They do.
They.
More than just facts and figures.
And speaking of connecting,
Yeah.
they also talked about tailoring your content
Tailoring, okay.
to different stages of the customer journey.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Someone just starting to think about retirement
Right.
needs different information than someone who's ready to invest. So meet them where they are.
Right.
And that's where that targeted content comes in.
That we talked about before.
Use your CMS
Yeah.
to segment your audience
Give them the specific content.
that they need.
It's personalized.
Yeah, a personalized roadmap
Oh, I like that.
guiding them.
Through the world of finance.
And this approach,
Yeah.
it helps you move them down the funnel.
It's a win-win.
You're giving value
You're nurturing leads.
towards taking action.
Now, something else.
Yeah.
The German agency really pushed
What's that?
video
Video, okay.
and interactive content
Essential, they said.
for financial brands.
Especially today.
I mean, we live in a world of short attention spans.
Yeah.
Video just cuts through the noise.
It's so much more engaging than just reading an article.
Right. And it opens up so many possibilities.
Like what?
You can share customer testimonials,
Okay.
give virtual tours of your services,
Oh, that's interesting.
create explainers,
Break down those complex topics.
make it fun,
Yeah. And interactive elements like quizzes and calculators.
and keep people engaged.
Make financial planning feel more tangible.
And we can't forget about social media.
Social media.
The German agency emphasized
They did.
that a strong social media presence is crucial
Especially for thought leadership.
and building trust.
You connect with your audience on a personal level.
Answer questions, address concerns.
Stay top of mind.
Yeah, if you're consistently providing value.
People will see you as a go-to resource.
Which is huge.
But social media in finance,
yeah,
it comes with compliance challenges.
Definitely be careful with what you share.
Always double-check those guidelines.
Okay, so
we've talked about creating all this content.
But how do we know it's working?
How do we measure success?
Data.
Analytics.
Our best friends.
Track your key performance indicators.
Our KPIs.
That's to see what's resonating.
And what's not.
So what should we be watching?
Yeah, what metrics matter?
It depends on your goals. But common ones are website traffic.
Traffic.
Engagement.
Likes, shares, comments.
Lead generation.
And ultimately, are people taking action?
That's the big question.
Are we achieving our objectives?
Exactly.
But data is just information.
Right.
We have to make decisions based on it.
So use the data.
To refine our approach.
You see what's working.
What's not. It's a constant process.
Learning, experimenting, optimizing.
Now, before we move on,
okay,
I want to touch on something else.
Okay.
The German agency mentioned.
Which was?
The role of talented writers.
Oh, yes.
Those skilled writers who can make finance clear and engaging.
And maybe even a little fun.
It's a rare skill.
It is.
Worth investing in.
Even if you're using video,
yeah,
the written word is still important.
And we talked about
yeah,
using Google's HSE principle to find those writers.
Right.
Treat them well.
Grade them fairly.
Give them creative freedom.
Because the quality of your content.
This is what makes the difference. You can have the best strategy.
Yeah.
But if the content's bad,
it's not going to work.
So create content people actually want to consume.
That builds trust, shows expertise.
And drives action.
That's the sweet spot.
Strategy, creativity, and compliance.
Okay, one last thing.
Yes.
The German agency really stressed this.
Okay.
Have a content calendar.
Oh, a content calendar.
Keeps you organized.
Consistent.
It helps you stay on track.
Like a roadmap.
For your content.
They recommend a project management tool.
Or a simple spreadsheet.
Involve the whole team.
Yeah, marketing, compliance, sales.
Everyone.
So that everyone's on the same page.
Working together.
Towards that common goal.
Breaking down silos.
Creating a collaborative environment.
I love that.
That's how you build a content strategy that lasts.
So we've talked about crafting content.
We have.
But before we get to our final thoughts,
okay,
I want to hear from you, our listener.
Yeah. What are you thinking?
What are you going to change?
About your financial content.
What sparked an idea?
Hold on to that thought.
As we move into our final part.
I love those aha moments.
Yeah, me too. And those make these deep dives so fun.
It's so rewarding.
So let's step back and look at the big picture for a second.
Okay, the big picture.
We've talked about a lot.
We have.
But I think it comes down to just a few core principles.
Yeah, what are those?
And the most important one.
The foundation.
The foundation of everything is trust.
Trust.
It's everything in financial services.
Google prioritizes it.
Consumers demand it.
And your content strategy needs to be built on it.
It's funny, right? In a world where everyone wants attention.
Yeah.
Trust is what makes you stand out.
Especially with finances.
People need to trust you with their money.
Absolutely.
So every piece of content you create,
yeah,
it has to build credibility and show expertise.
And we've talked about some ways to do that.
Even if you're not a big name.
Right. Some of those tactics were pretty clever.
I know that reverse engineering 8 thing blew my mind.
I know, it's so smart.
And don't forget about partnering with data companies.
To get those unique insights.
Or using LinkedIn to find those expert writers.
Yeah, specifically those finance writers.
And compliance.
Compliance.
Remember, it doesn't have to kill creativity.
No, it can actually boost it.
Because limitations can make you more creative.
You have to think outside the box.
We also talked about speed.
Speed is key.
Agility.
The financial world moves fast.
Content needs to keep up.
Real-time content is so important.
But also personalization.
Using your CMS to target content.
Based on user behavior.
Create that personalized journey.
Guide them to the right info at the right time.
Now, before we wrap up,
yes,
remember that question we asked earlier?
About unexpected partnerships.
What unconventional alliances could you explore?
To boost your credibility and reach new people.
Think outside your industry.
Maybe a consumer advocacy group.
That shares your values.
Or an educational institution.
To help you reach younger audiences.
It's all about finding those synergies.
Be open to the possibilities.
Create something impactful.
Content marketing is a journey.
It's not a destination.
It takes time and effort.
And you have to constantly adapt.
But the rewards are worth it.
You create trustworthy content,
engaging content,
compliant content,
and you become a leader.
in financial services.
And you make a difference,
That's what it's all about.
making a positive impact.
So keep those creative juices flowing.
Never stop experimenting.
And we're here to help.
Reach out if you have questions.
Or if you want to share your insights.
Until next time.
Happy content creating.